Alright, so this is the first episode of the completely unnamed podcast at the moment because, well, we just haven't thought of a name for it yet. But I don't know, that we could just basically we're watching shitty fucking movies, and we watched a really shitty one today. I would have to say that this movie that we watched was probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
So this movie came out of the ass crack of my friend's room, which he's got just loads of crates of boxes, and this came out of the bottom of one of these boxes in a 15 movie pack.
15 movie pack.
This movie's called Best of the Best 3.
Best of the Best 3. Now what's okay? Best of the Best 3. No Turning Back, and it's on the same disc as Laser Mission with Brandon Lee. That'll tell you the kind of quality of that fucking movie. Laser Mission, which isn't even spelled right. Best of the Best 3 is... Oh God, there's so many things that could be said about this movie, and none of them are good.
I mean, that's what makes it good, though, because everything about this movie is abysmal. It's just utterly atrocious. I mean, take your worst garden variety TNT level Van Damme movie, Death Warrant. I don't know what else. What do you got? Fucking Desert Heat.
Oh yeah. I almost said Broken Arrow, but that's on a totally different level.
Actually,
it's actually a decent movie.
Yeah. So I mean, take anything that you can think of that would just, that would be shoveled in your face at fucking 8 p.m. on a Sunday evening.
Like this, LA Street Fighters, or the Heroic Trio.
The Heroic Trio
is that
Heroic
good?
Duo. Both those movies are. I haven't seen them, so I can't speak for them. But I don't think that they're nearly as bad as these. I think they have some thought put into them. So.
Yeah, this movie had we read at IMDb about how this movie actually started as a different movie, just called No Turning Back, and then the guy that directed it, who also is the main star and producer.
He apparently had a major play in this one. He was the guiding light of this being actually put into motion and created and whatever. He decided he wanted to make it a Best of the Best movie, which I don't really remember much of the Best of the Best movies, but I know that I do know enough about them to know this has nothing to do with them. This pretty much just picks up where this guy's lucid memory of his character left off, and I don't know. It's god awful garbage.
Oh,
I mean,
it is terrible, and the guy.
Play a clip of it. Like, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I know.
We just have at least one clip. Like this movie. I mean, you usually watch these kind of movies because you want to see explosions and you want to see somebody get drop kicked into a furnace, or you want to see something crazy happen. This movie decides to put everything in the wrong places.
It really does.
This movie has a very good knack for...
the explosions, for instance, like we were talking about how a lot of the explosions happen either kind of almost off camera. Like there'll be an explosion and the camera only catch like one side of the explosion. It was like the cameraman wasn't paying attention when it went off.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, well, we can't do it anymore. We already did it." So
they said they could, we can't redo this explosion. We just simply can't. Do not have the funds to redo the explosion.
Fuck it. We'll just have some guys jumping off in camera and make it look like something actually happened.
So the plot of this movie is
God,
okay. So we got
what a plot it is.
Main character's whole backstory, exposition, none of that matters.
Nothing matters.
He's the wandering drifter.
He's a wandering drifter that goes
in
to
certain
town.
cases is awesome, but in this case,
it's absolutely not awesome because the main character has no no chemistry or charisma at all. No stage presence. No nothing. This guy is annoying. He's stupid. The way he talks to people, he's a dick, like to children. He's a dick to children in this movie. Like, Gina Gershon is in this and is supposed to be his love interest, and the first time she meets him, he's being a dick to children in public, and so for some reason, that is a turn on for her. Like, being a dick to kids. All right, gotcha.
I mean, people have their tastes. I don't know.
I guess they do.
But I mean, this guy shows up. He's basically your average Joe. He gets blindsided on the road by a truck randomly. He decides, hey, I'm going to wander in this town and solve everyone's problems. The town, yeah. The town is called Liberty, and there's absolutely no liberty happening in this town. It's been taken over by a bunch of skinhead white supremacists who, at the beginning of the movie, burned down a church run by a black preacher, and then they kidnapped this black preacher and beat him to death with a baseball bat. And this church burns down as if it was doused in napalm. I mean, we called it. The reason I laugh is because we called it like 10 minutes before it happened. We were like, this is exactly what's going to play out in this scene. And the only thing we had seen up to that point was him watering his lawn. The scene starts. All these people are all happy. It's a nice, beautiful day. Kids are running around. The preacher's out there, and he's watering the lawn. And of course, I was thinking, oh well, black people, black preacher, in a church, something horrible is going to happen to these people. This has got to be to send up to some horribly campy, ridiculously thought out, non-fucking descript action movie from the mid-90s. And what happens? We need to have the worst plot ever to encompass this terrible movie, so... What happens? The church gets burned down. The black preacher is beaten to death by white supremacists. One of them is an overacting Mark Rolston from Aliens. Which is random as hell. I couldn't believe I remembered his name. No, you are very good with names. I was actually surprised that you could recognize anybody out of this movie. Oh, You're picking people out of this movie left and right, and I'm like, none of these people deserve to go on to success. I'm sorry. No, they didn't. This movie, absolutely not. And Dee Wallace is in this, and they just forget about her. She plays the mother of one of the white supremacists, and she's got a couple of scenes in the movie, and then she just disappears. They never show her in the rest of the movie again. Yeah, she did a good job with whatever tiny little, scraps of nugget of feces they gave her, but she ended up actually turning out the best role that the movie had to offer. I know, right? Which was, the mother of this white supremacist shithead kid that... I live on my hate. Which the kid, he's the only kid. He's the only person in the movie who has any exposition or backstory. Yeah, pretty much. And they don't really do a whole lot besides, and I'm not. I hate to toss spoilers out there. I apologize if this spoils the movie for anybody who is super. If you're upset about this movie getting spoiled for you, you have big problems. So he ends up, being the guy who, shoots one of the, main Nazi dudes at the end to save our protagonist. Oh my God, the ending. We'll get to that. We'll get to the ending. But throughout the movie, they don't really play up that this is what you're supposed to be paying attention to. That this kid there's any point to him. Other than he's part of this whole troop of assholes. Yeah. And it's like these white supremacists. It's obvious that they've taken they've got their finger on this town, and their leader is Arlie Ermey from Full Metal Jacket and Nail Call, and he's like this white supremacist preacher. And look, if you're thinking Arlie Ermey as a white supremacist preacher being awesome. Think again, because absolutely do not play up any of his strengths in this movie whatsoever. He's looks in like 3 times. Yeah, he's in it like 3 or 4 scenes, and each scene you can tell he just wants to fucking go home. He doesn't want to be here.
I don't think Gina Gershon I don't think anybody wanted to be in this movie. I think every one of them was
quite obvious.
Yeah, like we were talking when we were watching the movie, it looked like Arlie Ermy and Gina Gershon were probably off camera, snorting lines of cocaine and just wondering where the fuck their check was.
I'd be surprised if they could afford cocaine off of the money they made off of this film.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, yeah, and at the end of the movie, when all the bad guys are trying to kill the one good guy, I mean, I wasn't kidding when I said that I don't think that was actually an action scene. I think that those people were actually trying to kill the director.
I think that they just set up the camera.
They just set up the camera, and all these guys were just so pissed off and they were using real weaponry trying to kill this director who would not let them go home and would not pay them. That's how bad this movie was. Everybody just wanted to go home. They wanted to get paid and go home, and this guy wouldn't pay them.
There's no redemption in this movie. There's just I've seen some of the worst action films. Like I can say any one of the Bruceploitation movies that in my collection is much better than this, and those are the most offensive movies ever.
Oh yeah,
because all they do is take a living legend like Bruce Lee, mimic his appearance, and throw these random situations and say it's like this what this guy actually did in real life. Like they try to make biography movies.
Yeah,
and that's less offensive to my senses than this film was.
Well, like you told me, there was one of them that actually used scenes from, like, they had actually shot at his funeral, and then they used those in the movie.
They went ahead and plagiarized some funeral footage. Plagiarizing funeral footage to me is more entertaining than Best of the Best 3.
Oh man, this movie, like the acting. Okay, the lead guy who was director, producer, and I mean he is the most unlikable main character I think I've seen in an action movie in a long time.
And he's not unlikable for any reason that's like overt. Like that immediately grabs your attention.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I don't like this guy for this reason. Like, say you watch a movie like Bad Lieutenant. You're like, this guy's going around doing crack cocaine.
He's a piece of shit.
There's a reason why you don't like this guy. This movie, this guy's flat.
He's flat. Yeah.
Flat out boring. He's flat out terrible. Uninteresting. Flat out shows up. Flat out just doesn't do anything of value.
Oh yeah, like that scene. There was a scene with him and Gina Gershon in the house when they're kind of hitting on each other, and it's hinting more and more that she's his romance, his love interest, and the way that they're hitting on each other, it was so cringeworthy. It seemed like two kids like flirting on a playground.
Yeah, no direction, no chemistry, nothing.
Oh, it was horrible. Gina Gershon just hated. She'd go into her trailer if they could afford one in this. Maybe the bathroom. She'd do it. She'd snort a couple lines of cocaine and just be sitting there thinking, I could be getting loaded in West Hollywood, but I'm here with this fucking guy.
I mean, this was by the rounds, I'm sure, for a lot of these. And this was like, I mean, this had to have been direct-to-video. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah. I don't see this movie ever being in theaters.
Yeah, there's just so much wrong with this, where it's trying to go with its story and where it's trying to... When I first watched this, man, I actually enjoyed it for the value of seeing a bunch of neo-Nazi scumbags get, the floor wiped with them.
Sure, yeah.
And that was great. But at the time, like, I was half awake and I was like, I see people I know in this movie and there's some awesome fucking scenes that take place. Little did I know, though, it didn't make any sense because the dude's sitting there drop-kicking 3 dudes at a time off of motorcycles, and the jump cuts.
Oh man, yeah, the cuts were terrible.
So bad.
The cuts were terrible. Like the scene you're talking about where he jump kicks 3 guys on these motorcycles. These things, he's escaping from this installation, and these 3 guys are chasing him. Each one of them are on a motorcycle, on a dirt bike, and they're following after him, trying to catch up to him, and he stops, turns around, jumps in the air, kicks all 3 of these guys in the face with 1 foot. One of his feet.
One
he does
foot
this.
at a time.
One foot at a time. Smack, smack, smack. They're all in this line. And then, did he land on one of the motorcycles after that?
Oh, dude, I don't care to rewatch to see if that's the case, but no, I doubt it. I think that's way too much even for them.
The only way that could have worked is it was one of those Matrix moments where time froze. He kick, and then, dropped down. It was so terribly shot. We both just, our jaws dropped at that point.
I mean,
fuck did we just see?
There's no way to explain how this man could have pulled that one kick at a time.
Oh no,
suspended in air.
Yeah, people gravity doesn't work that way.
I can have suspension of disbelief to a certain extent. For the worst movies, I can have a suspension of disbelief, but
not that
much. Not that much.
Yeah. And there was a lot of other things about this movie that were just absolutely horrid. Well, first of all, I mean, not knowing your main character, not having any kind of backstory or anything that there was really no story arc for him to follow. He was just in this town and decides, I'm going to clean things up.
You just decide to say, you know what, guess what? I'm an Asian guy. I get harassed out here. I got run off the road out here, and I know people out here, which is great. It's amazing. I know
these guys are calling me yellow.
People out here. So I'm the I'm the pariah of this fucking Western shithole that
Nobody's cleaning this place up, so I'm gonna do it with Shooter McGavin.
God, yeah,
Shooter McGavin, Chris McDonald from a lot of different movies, but he's most well known as Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore. He plays the sheriff in this movie, the do nothing sheriff that just lets everything happen until the very end when what happened to his wife's face? The main character shows up and her face is all busted up. And I was kind of joking around that she fell and hit her face on a shelf or something, but they never show what happened to her. And then suddenly the sheriff's like, "Okay, I'm done with this shit. Now I'm gonna go fight back."
There wasn't, That wasn't seen. That was off. That just like Muster the Explosions. That was.
the explosions were off kilter in this movie.
They needed to. They obviously didn't have enough emotional force brought up behind the protagonist's anger towards the... I mean, come on, they're neo-Nazis, they're fucking... Obviously, there's so much to hate there, but they still couldn't make us hate him enough.
Right,
They still couldn't make us hate him enough.
Well, I mean, really, besides the... I mean, honestly, the opening was wow, they're starting off with the racism hard,
Dude, exactly.
Big time, full force at the very beginning of the movie.
Right there.
And then after that, it was just kind of okay, so they're bringing guns in, and this is one of those movies. They're white supremacists. They're smuggling guns, and they're bad. Okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah, yes. All right. Fucking shoot me in the face. This movie sucks. And I think, honestly, watching this movie and watching the way they went with it as the movie went on, and some of the acting of some of these characters, you can tell nobody making this movie, besides the main guy, the director, gave a damn about it. Everybody was phoning in their performances. They were all just so lackluster.
The worst part is that this man, the director, producer, and the main actor starring this film, as much as he gave a shit about this project, which, I mean, I'm still curious in figuring out whether or not he really did give a shit about this project.
I think he was the only one.
He's supposed to be the only one who gives a shit about this project. This guy was so uneventful and uncharismatic
underwhelming. Just fucking not even like close to somebody you could root for.
No, it was hard to watch. Like at least with like people like Van Damme and you got people like Van Damme and Stallone and Arnold and even Seagal back in the old days. Like they were at least entertaining. They were at least charismatic enough to carry a scene, even if the dialogue sucked, even if the movie itself sucked.
That probably explains why they're still doing
entertaining.
movies that are direct-to-video, like this one. This was direct-to-video in the mid-'90s, and this guy, I don't know, we'd have to IMDb to see if this guy still does anything to this day.
Well, this movie was made in 1995, and it's Philip Ree. That's what his name is.
Philip Ree. His name in the movie. His actual character's name.
His character name in the movie is Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee. Yeah. Philip Ree as Tommy Lee.
Philip Ree as Tommy Lee. Okay, he's the director and he's also the producer.
So this movie doesn't really deserve to be under the knife as much as it is right now. But I'm telling you that even the worst action movies I've seen don't come to the level of being as just obtuse and ridiculous as this movie.
Philip Ree is best known for creating the best of the best franchise.
So he just decided, hey, I'm just going to do whatever I can to make this...
He had to keep it going. That's all he had, man.
I'm just going to keep this going.
As an actor, holy shit. He's in a movie this year called Underdog Kids. He plays Jimmy the Lightning Bolt Lee.
He's Jimmy still going with the Lee names.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. Best of the Best 4 was the last movie he was in besides that, and that was back in 1998.
So, but he's actually having a resurgence, I guess, of sorts.
Apparently.
Wow.
And, he played this Tommy Lee character in every one of the Best movies. See, I haven't seen Best of the Best 1 or 2 in so many years that I honestly don't remember. I remember in the first one, Eric Roberts was one of the main characters. But I don't remember this Tommy Lee guy. The only Tommy Lee I know of is in a band. And he made his own video at one point that was really famous. Much more famous than this one. Philip Ree. Yeah, and he's directed... surprising. He's directing Underdog Kids this year.
God damn you. God damn you, sir.
Oh, man.
Dude, you couldn't have had enough with your Best of the Best series. You drove your own series of movies into the fucking ground.
Oh, yeah.
With Best of the Best 3, and I don't even want to know what fucking we have in store for us for Best of the Best 4.
Oh, yeah.
Watch it.
I know.
We're eventually
I know we are going to watch it.
See that.
And it's Best of the Best 4 is called Best of the Best Without Warning.
And we have it.
We have
on this 15 movie pack.
On this 15 movie collection.
Jesus, I didn't even know we had it on there.
It's really sad when Laser Mission is one of your highlights.
You're trying to sell success off of a fucking Bruce Lee's son.
And it's Brandon Lee's Laser Mission's like his first movie, wasn't it? I
bought that one. I bought that one from the Dollar Tree.
Yeah. Is that the one you were telling me you couldn't sell?
It was part of a bundled lot of garbage movies.
Yeah, you know what? Laser Mission seems to come in a lot of bundles of garbage movies.
That one was...
The only movie on this set that honestly I can say that I've seen that is actually really good is Super Cop with Jackie Chan.
Yeah, Super Cop was a good movie.
That is a good movie.
Fucking amazing stunts, dude.
Man.
That wasn't that one of his breakthrough role, or that's Rumble in the Bronx, right?
I think Rumble in the Bronx was the one that made him big in America, but I think
Super Cop was after Rumble in the Bronx.
Yeah, I think it came out after or whatever, or maybe it was released here after. I don't really know, but Super Cop, man, yeah, him and Michelle Yeoh was in that. That was a big one.
Fucker in, man. That's actually worth watching.
Yeah, we'll throw that one in. Super Cop's awesome, yeah, but this movie wasn't.
This movie really disturbed me in a lot of ways, actually.
Yeah, actually, I was kind of surprised at the. I mean, like I said, the racism in this was like, it was very mean spirited. I mean, like, obviously, if you're dealing with skinheads and neo Nazis and shit, obviously it's going to be mean spirited. But the thing is that there are better ways to handle it. Like, for instance, in a movie like American History X, where if you're gonna go there, then at least do it in a way that is interesting and watchable. You know, with this, it was just,
it's worthy of the subject matter. This wasn't worthy of the subject.
No.
I honestly, as you know, you're going to a place where, you know, you want to pick apart these people and their actions and shit. This movie tries to do it in a way that's just insulting.
It is
to every sense.
Yeah, it really is. It really is, because
it belittles every fucking thing.
Yeah, and it accomplishes really nothing. Like, the movie, it accomplishes nothing.
Yeah, you don't feel any redemption value towards anybody who was harmed or wronged
and it's
like the guy at the beginning of the movie. I wasn't like, you just redeemed his life. You just fucked those guys up. You know, this whole movie makes sense now, and you know, you were totally right to go after all these guys randomly, even though you just happened upon this town.
You just stroll into this town.
New people here all of a sudden.
Stroll into Liberty, the town of Liberty.
So his car is knocked off the road. I'm still trying to understand this. He knew the sheriff in the town, even though.
So that's what I was wondering. Okay, he's just going. He happens to be going through in his car. His car dies or and he just happens to know the sheriff in this random ass town
where they're fighting the plight of massive widespread racism.
Yeah, exactly.
So where was that explained?
It wasn't.
Did any of the best movies explain this?
I don't think so.
Because there must have been some backstory.
Like I said, I didn't even know this character was in any of the best movies.
What the fuck, dude?
Oh shit.
Okay.
And we got to talk about the ending, man, because the ending, we both predicted that thing. It was so bad. Okay, all these guys are going after him. Yeah, all these guys are trying to kill him because he's come and he's screwed up their weapon, their arms dealing venture. And so all these guys, there's tons of these guys shooting at him and trying to kill him throughout this end battle. And then he ends up running into Mark Rolston, and who has this minigun that can magically blow up anything it hits.
So every scene this minigun is just laying waste to shit, and within 2 bullets, this thing is exploding shacks, and this thing is exploding buildings. But by the time it comes to him and to having to come against it, it's not.
Nothing happens. No. Yeah, for some reason, this Mark Rolston has explosive bullets in his minigun that destroys in grand fashion anything he shoots, except for when it comes to being near Tommy Lee. I almost called him Jimmy Lee.
Is the whole reason he has the minigun is because he's from Aliens?
I think, you know what? I almost
he had the smart gun and
the smart gun in Aliens. He played Drake, and
so
I almost think it was a callback. Yeah,
you obviously have that. Not enough to save the movie.
No.
Kind of cool to think about in retrospect.
I almost feel like they did that in the movie, had him carrying that around just so people go, oh yeah, he had the smart gun in Aliens, let's give him the minigun in Best of the Best 3. All the fans are gonna go, woo!
Because they're totally on the same caliber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
because the smart gun blew everything up that it saw, that it touched.
I know, right? They would not have had the problems they had with the fucking xenomorphs.
Oh, no.
If they had the minigun from Best of the Best.
Yeah, if they had the minigun from Best of the Best 3, the movie Aliens would not have had such a horrible ending, you know? They would have been able to just stand outside the compound and just fire ammunition at it and blow everything up.
You would have had, more fucking crazy shit, like more fucking environment busting than the first Predator. But I'm sure they would have seen the xenomorphs instead of like they couldn't see the fucking Predator. They would have seen those damn xenomorphs. Those explosive bullets would have done the fucking trick.
Oh, it would have done. Oh yeah,
They would have fucked him up.
Oh, absolutely. Nobody would have died. Nobody would have died. Drake wouldn't have died. No, Vasquez wouldn't have died. None of them would have died.
You know what also would have made Aliens better? And excuse me for saying this. I very much apologize if this offends anybody. Having the whole crew of aliens be neo-Nazis. Then the ending would have been like, yeah, those guys deserve to fucking die. I enjoyed every one of their fucking deaths with spectacular glory.
Have Mark Rolston back there snorting cocaine off Vasquez's leg.
Nice.
Where's my minigun, bitch? Yeah, God, this movie. Oh, this movie. It was... Okay, first of all, I don't know. I don't even understand how this series got to 3 in the first place.
You know, it's I know, right? Because you always... Whenever I saw this movie in the video store, I wanted to rent it, but I never did. Because... I instinctually knew it was going to be garbage.
Oh yeah, well, and that's the thing is that back then, you know what? Back then, the movies would have better covers than the movie actually was. The cover would be just amazing, and that's what got a lot of people because they'd spend all that money making that cover look fucking amazing, and then you'd go and bring it home and you watch it and you'd be like, "What the hell is this?" This is not what I bought. This is not what I rented.
Your senses are visually assaulted, and you are audibly assaulted by somebody just splooging on your television set for an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever the way they wanted to fucking expose you to their garbage.
You know what? At least somebody would have been enjoying themselves. we weren't even getting that much. There wasn't even any enjoyment going on while watching this movie. This movie was a steaming, unadulterated pile of shit. It was a terrible, smoking pile of smoldering shit. It was absolutely horrible, and the action scenes were uninspired and stupid.
Very badly shot.
Very badly shot.
I mean,
he kicks the shit out of a bunch of skinheads in it was at a carnival, and he's dressed as a clown.
I'd say it's probably 1/10 the level of Hard Target. Not even that even.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably say it's 1/10 the level of Hard Target.
And
that's giving it too much credit as it is.
Yeah, and like we were both saying, man, it's like it was trying to take elements from both Rambo First Blood Part 1 and Hard Target. Hard Target, I mean, Rambo, dude, it had Stallone. And then Hard Target had Van Damme and his glistening, flowing mullet.
And
Lance Henriksen and John Woo and Lance Henriksen, man. So they had that going for it. This
have a lot.
This had Philip Ree and Shooter McGavin.
Exactly. If this movie had Lance Henriksen and in a scene that was 25 seconds long, then it would have had enough charisma to at least carry the neo-Nazi theme.
Oh yeah.
I feel bad that Lee Ermey, I honestly don't know where their direction was going, because they couldn't even get Lee Ermey to raise his voice.
No,
barely.
He was actually really underwhelming in this movie. Like a lot of whenever I see R. Lee Ermey in anything, even when it was on the show Mail Call, he was always really loud and just his presence.
His whole theme is his absolute presence.
Yeah,
and then they decide to fucking kill him off in the most whelming way possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
where they stab the guy in the stomach.
Yeah, he finds out. He finds out that his men are dealing in arms, and he's like, "Oh, that's not the way we were supposed to do this."
And they're like, "Oh, wait, your paycheck. We need to cut it off right here."
Yeah.
Oh.
I honestly think that they killed off Arlie Ermey because he asked to be killed off early because they ran out of cocaine and on set, and they didn't want to. And he was probably asking for more money, and they couldn't afford to do it.
Yeah, I think he's the only actor I actually
just a guess.
Yeah, he's the only actor I recognized from the movie.
Yeah, I recognized a few of the actors, but all of the actors that were in it that I did recognize, they either had really small roles or they were like Dee Wallace and Arlie Ermey, or they were really over the top like Mark Rolston, who there were scenes where he was acting normal in some scenes, that it was okay, his acting was, but then there was other scenes like towards the end of the movie when he just starts sounding like he's mentally handicapped, like somebody hit him in the head with a shovel and they just kept on filming.
He gave it up. He really did. He gave it up. Like
I think he did give up.
He was just like, boom, I can't do this anymore.
I don't care.
I think he was actually coming off of a heroin bender with the way he sounded at the very end there when he's like, after he gets the shit handed to him and like all the Nazis just decide to, open the
they all
the gateway.
Jimmy,
for him to walk away.
the main character, our hero, Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee.
Moses opens the water.
Yeah, he beats the shit out of Mark Rolston, and so all these skinheads decide, okay, let's let the Asian guy who beat up our leader go, and
they never explain where these guys are during the explosions and the shootouts and all this other stuff that's happening. We have another army of guys just hanging out in the back.
That's another thing about the ending that bothered both of us, was the fact that throughout these end battles that are happening, there's a whole group of men. There was probably 50, 60 guys back in another section of this compound that were just hanging out. All of them were armed with assault rifles and other weapons. They're just hanging out back there. They weren't out helping out, shooting at the guys that are coming in to try to stop them. They were just hanging out back there, waiting until their leader and the Asian character comes back to have their final battle. And then they all just stand off, watch them fight. Like skinheads, apparently, these skinheads had honor, so they would just stand back and watch these two fight.
So in essence, they're the most redeeming characters in the movie.
Pretty much. Yeah, this fight, watching these bad guys watching, these skinheads watching the good guy kick the shit out of their boss, then decide, oh, we don't want to do this anymore. Let's throw down our weapons, and the main character's like, oh, stop the hate.
So
it's not good to hate.
These guys go on to create Bartertown, and that's a wrap.
Master Blaster runs Bartertown.
I honestly don't know what to, I don't know what to glean from this other than it's not even worth watching in your most drunken or hungover or weird state. Like I would recommend Batman and Robin.
Yeah,
this film.
At least Batman and Robin's funny. Like, you can at least laugh about it. Like, I mean, we were laughing because we
just knew how much bad shit to talk about.
Yeah, we were just tearing it apart the whole time.
With Batman and Robin, you laugh because there's nipples and there's a bunch of phalluses and in every scene you can spot some phalluses out. And, then
all
the
men's
director apologized for the movie. The director of this movie never fucking apologized, for sure.
Even George Clooney apologized for his role as playing Batman.
Did. Yeah.
Man, I sucked as Batman. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Just, if you ever see the movie Best of the Best 3 on the shelf in your local video store, if you go to a local video store,
fire.
And if you do go to a local video store, by the way, props to you. But if you see it anyways, set it on fucking fire.
Set it on fire.
If you see a movie on Netflix, just throw your boot through your television set. If you see this movie on any of your friends' shelves, be sure to do them a favor and take it right out to the bin.
Take it to the bin.
Get it out.
And then fire a minigun
Get rid of it. Shoot your minigun.
That fires explosive ammunition at that fucking bin, and blow that shit to smithereens.
Everyone's life will benefit.
It is irredeemable.
It's gone.
We didn't even talk about the almost Gina Gershon rape scene that happens.
Yeah. Man. Talk about not being fit for its subject matter.
Oh, I know.
Fuck.
Like,
come on, guys.
These guys, the like four or five of the neo-Nazis break into her house, and they just decide, hey, she's got a pretty mouth, let's try and rape her. And of course, the hero comes and saves her right as they're spreading her legs. But the thing is, the whole point is there was no need for it. There was no reason for this scene to even be in the movie, and they just decide, hey, let's have these guys break in and try to rape Gina Gershon. We need a little more. Yeah. We need some more intensity.
It wasn't bad enough that we're neo-Nazi scum.
Now we're rapist neo-Nazi scum.
Have a town in our clutches, and that everybody's life is fucking wrecked by our presence.
And this presentation.
It's not bad enough that we're displaying our incredibly poor acting chops upon this world.
Oh God, it's so over the top, so terrible.
I recommend that you watch The Quest. If you think about picking this movie up, watch The Quest.
Are you talking about the Van Damme The Quest? That's okay. Yeah, I like that.
Watch. I mean, it's not, but it's like he got sued over that movie. Like,
well, I mean, he's totally ripping off his, the Bloodsport movie,
off his own
much.
Movie,
yeah.
I recommend you watch any third-rate Van Damme movie.
Yeah.
Or watch any any fucking third-rate
any third-rate
bad
movie
action star.
I would honestly rather watch one of Steven Seagal's new movies, which I've heard are horrible. Yeah. Absolutely horrible. Yeah. I would rather watch one of those. Because I bet that would be it would be more entertaining watching Steven Seagal try to run his fat ass around in scenes without keeling over and having a heart attack.
I would rather watch the blood from my fucking throat spill out into the street. I'd rather watch my esophageal tear spew bile and blood pouring out into the gutter. So take that for what you will. But that's my take, and that's my 2 cents, and I'm gonna take that with me to the grave.
We're both taking this movie to the grave.
I'm never gonna tell anybody I ever watched this fucking movie.
Well, now people are gonna know because we're recording it. It's going on the internet.
Oh shit!
Hopefully, people will listen to this and they will avoid Best of the Best 3. What was the rest? What was the subtitle? Best of the Best 3: No Turning Back, because it is.
There's no turning back.
There is no turning back. It's you watch this movie and you've crossed the point of no return. Your life will never be the same.
All right.
Oh man.
What's the next piece of shit?
Oh God. Okay, so let's see here. Well, we've got this. We've still got this 15 movie collection here. I mean, we watched one and it was that bad. Let's see here. Okay, I guess this is completely for the audience here. I want to read off some of these titles. Okay. Now we already told you one good movie's on here, Super Cop. That's it. that's the highlight of this. On the cover of this, they have a picture of Jackie Chan on the front, and
when you're paying for this, you know that the only movie you know that's good is Super Cop. The rest is just kind of a random.
That's the highlight.
Toss.
They just threw a bunch of shitty ass action movies on here. So we've got Driven to Kill with Steven Seagal, one of his shitty ones. The President's Men with Chuck Norris. L.A. Street Fighters. Oh my God! It's got Philip Ree in it.
Oh God!
It's got the director from Best of the Best 3 in it.
Oh Jesus Christ Almighty! Oh God! Why?
Oh God!
That one is gonna really just knock your socks.
It's gonna make you want to choke yourself with your socks.
Yeah, you're.
The Heroic Trio. Once a Thief, Family Business, Super Cop, Best of the Best Without Warning. That's number 4. They went further with this series. Laser Mission, which I'm surprised Brandon Lee had a career after that one.
Well,
Aaron here can't even sell his copy of it.
I have the dollar DVD version of this movie, and
You can't even give it away.
it is better than Best of the Best 3. So
That's not saying much.
I will give it that much. It's better than Best of the Best 3. So
okay,
yeah, I can't give it away. So
we got Logan's War, Bound by Honor. That's also a Chuck Norris movie. The President's Men, A Line in the Sand. So we got. Oh, it's The President's Man. So President's Man number 1 and number 2. I don't know which one of these is 1 or 2, but there's 2 of them, and it's Chuck Norris movies.
I've seen the second one on TNT a couple times.
What'd you think of that? I'll take that. I'll take that as bad. Don't watch that one.
Very, very non-noteworthy.
And what's funny about these on the cover here, the President's Men one, it's each picture of a President's Man for the covers of these movies. It's the exact same picture of Chuck Norris, the exact same one, except for one of them has a.
Well, he's obedient. He's like he's like a dog. He's gonna do the same pose.
He's
taught
just
to do that pose. He's the President's Man.
It's the same exact picture, same clothes. Like they just cut him out and put him on the next cover, and they put an American flag behind him with an explosion behind that American flag.
I think they were
on the line in the sand. They probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think the President's Man movies were. I think they were made for TV.
With a title like that, I believe it. There's a movie on here called My Name is Modesty.
I've seen that too, actually.
It actually says that.
Let me see that. I've seen that before.
It says Quentin Tarantino and Miramax present. Oh, I think that's one of the those Asian films that he. For a little while, Quentin Tarantino was like.
Is it a Western?
He was like executive producing, or not executive producing, but he was like helping distribute some Chinese films.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a Chinese one.
Yeah, I think he just helped distribute them.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of it, but
yeah, he helped distribute it under his label.
Under his film label, him and Miramax. Yeah, because he did that with a couple of different other movies, like
Sonatine.
Sonatine, and he did it with the what's that? The one with the RZA. It's the man with the iron fist or something like that.
Tetsuo the Iron Man, or
no, this is the one that's got. It's got RZA and it's got
the man with iron
with iron fists. Yeah, that one. That's
it is definitely. I haven't.
People thought Quentin Tarantino made it, but he didn't. He just was one of the distributors, I guess. Okay, we got Once a Thief.
Once a Thief isn't that? These movies aren't that horrible.
No, it says Once a Thief. This is a John Woo movie.
These movies aren't terrible. That's actually a good movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one actually, but it says John Woo's Once a Thief.
Yeah, that's not a bad movie at all.
And there's another one, Once a Thief, Brother Against Brother.
Those are probably pretty good.
Okay, so we got maybe a few decent movies.
I'm very shocked.
The Accidental Spy with Jackie Chan,
That's
which
terrible. That's a new one.
I never saw that one. It's bad.
Yeah. It's shit.
And then of course we know about Best of the Best 3, No Turning Back.
But this set. In all honesty, this set is pretty fucking decent. Because the Heroic Trio, I mean, it's obviously a third or the second movie in a series.
Oh, it is.
And it's kind of weird to throw that in there. But you got some Chuck Norris in here. You got some decent Chinese action, Hong Kong action movies.
Hey, John Woo
Super
films,
Cop. It's not terrible. But
it's not terrible.
It's also the fact that you have Best of the Best is really what.
Those are the low points.
Yeah.
And Laser Mission.
I mean, it's that's when you get the your neck caught in the spokes there. Drug under the line. You're dead.
That's when you
at that point.
That's when you want to taser yourself until you forget what you've seen.
This is one of the better
multi-movie collection
Yeah.
books I've seen. So
I had another one in there for horror, and I don't know if I still have it. I might have sold that one, but those, like the highlight on that is Cursed with Christina Ricci. You know your collection's bad when Cursed with Christina Ricci and Joshua Jackson's your highlight.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, so that's the 15 movie collection there.
I kind of want to borrow it.
Yeah, you can borrow it.
I want to watch Once the Thief.
I actually want to. I've never seen that, so I kind of want to see it too.
Yeah, John Woo movies, like legit old school John Woo movies.
Fucking John Woo, man.
Fucking
I think my favorite movie of his was Hard Boiled.
Yeah, Hard Boiled was
Chow Yun Fat
on like another fucking scale.
Oh yeah,
Another fucking level as
that's
far as
classic
cinematography.
Oh, absolutely.
Cinematic gunfights.
Oh yeah, man. That's about as good as it gets. But yeah, I've never seen Once a Thief. I don't know, like some of these movies, yeah, I'll give some of them a chance. But yeah, I think you're right about a couple of these though that are
not
or
terrible.
Just TV.
Well, yeah, right.
The Chuck Norris ones are definitely
You have
TV.
some made. It's so random how they have them put together.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. I think they just pick a bunch of random movies and throw them on there.
So is this all Miramax then?
Yeah. These are all Miramax movies.
Was this right before like Blu-ray became a thing, or?
I don't know. I got this collection at Walmart, and there was a bunch of other collections.
Like this is like, you know, bargain. They
it
felt
bargain,
like they are bargain bin movies, but
it really
some of them
is,
are really good actually.
Yeah.
Like those, like some of them are movies like I know they couldn't sell because people don't watch Asian cinema, and other movies I know because they're TV movies they couldn't sell,
Yeah.
and other movies they're just so bad that they just had to
just throw them on and
put them on there, but
hope they could make a dime of profit from it.
Some of those movies are ones I'd legitimately go out of my way to check out though, so like
cool, yeah,
I mean, not that terrible of a multi-movie pack.
Well, I actually think we should do more of these multi-movie pack things, and just kind of, maybe we can pick a couple of them and do different films from those. So, what do you think? You got anything else you got to say about this movie? Best of the best three. No turning back.
Just steer clear. Don't go anywhere near. And if you do, make sure it's on a multi-movie pack that you have some redeeming value, like Once a Thief or...
So
like
after you
Super
see this, or you get halfway through it and realize how shitty it is, you can take the disc out and put a different one in.
You can cleanse your palate. So they have other shit that you can cleanse your palate. This movie's not worth...
Oh, no.
Fucking... The fucking tiny line of disc it's printed on.
It's fucking terrible. It's terrible.
Just... I think we've gone over it enough.
You can tell that the actors like Christopher McDonald, Gina Gershon, even Mark Rolston, who's never been a big name, but I've seen him in a lot better movies, and Dee Wallace, and Arlie Ermey, you could tell that this was like a low point in all their careers.
Yeah, I back in '95, I would have thought this was, utter garbage. There's way better movies, like way fucking earlier, like in the early '80s and shit.
Oh, absolutely, they're way better movies. I've seen bargain bin, B movie action films that came before this, even during the same year, that were better than this.
Anything from Dolph Lundgren, like go for his direct-to-videos.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Lundgren's got some good stuff, man.
I recommend if you're about to watch this movie, and this is my last touching point on this, watch Command Performance. He sticks a drumstick through a guy's head. That alone elevates it to being
That already makes me want to
awesome.
see it. I never saw that movie.
Yeah. So this movie has none of those kind of moments.
Oh, no, man. No.
There's nothing that makes you just, your eyes pop open.
Yeah,
like, whoa, that's so cool.
There's not one scene in this entire movie.
Too. And that's so I mean,
There's not one scene in this entire movie where you go, hey, bro, you need to see this movie because of this scene. No, none of that. This movie has not one moment where you can say it's good. Not one moment that you can look at and go, hey man, that was pretty awesome. No. Well, except for maybe the minigun that blows up shit just by
well,
shooting.
you got the guy from Aliens holding a minigun that blows shit up, but he doesn't do anything with it. Like,
he doesn't.
It doesn't. It's not a consistent effect.
No, it's not. No.
So, like, I don't think that even qualifies.
He blows up.
It's sad.
Yeah.
There's so much. The worst, most tragic part about this movie is that there is potential to a lot of.
There was potential.
Like you got Arlie Ermey as the fucking, coordinator of a bunch of fucking neo-Nazis. He could have gone crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
He could have gone off the wall.
If he would have made his performance like over the top and just like started chewing scenery, that could have been awesome.
That alone would have been worth the price of admission. Or you got, the fucking guy from Aliens with a minigun.
Yeah,
bro,
that blows shit up.
That would have been word of mouth. People would have been like, "Hey, check this out!
Check this out!"
From Aliens with a goddamn handlebar mustache,
right,
and a fucking sawed-off minigun.
Yeah,
it fires explosive rounds. Excuse me. No, it doesn't even fire explosive rounds.
It fires
through the movie.
It fires regular rounds, and it just makes things explode when it feels like it.
Yeah. So.
Terribly shot, terribly acted. You can tell all the people that are known actors are having a bad day. They're phoning their performances in. They don't want to be there. Most of them probably had to do cocaine offset, off camera, just to stay interested.
I feel like I'm vomiting in my mouth already. We've talked about it too much.
Yeah.
Laser Mission's probably a better movie. From that very pack, Laser Mission is a better movie. It has
more credibility,
better fight scenes. Yeah.
Than this lackluster piece of inhuman garbage. Best the best 3, no turning back. Please turn back when you see this. Turn back and do not cross that line. Don't put this in your DVD player. Don't hit the play button. Because if you do, all you're going to want to do is stick your head in a garbage disposal. And flip that motherfucking switch. And hope to God that the pain that's going through your body will end your suffering. That suffering will override the suffering that you had to deal with when watching this piece of shit. Pray to whatever God that you believe in.
There is some redemption though. We're gonna play fucking Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo.
So the next episode we'll pick some other movie that hopefully is not going to be this terrible. That will actually have a lot more enjoyment out of talking about.
Yeah, we might even write a script for the next episode. What do you think?
I don't know, maybe, or like we talked about, maybe doing a commentary, or
I might not be drunk either. But
yeah, well, I know.
I can't guarantee it. I can't guarantee anything, but
dude,
that's the only way I could sit through this movie, guys. I apologize, dude. This guy sat through it sober. All right, so take pity. If anybody,
I'm
take pity.
in a lot more pain than I look at like I am. Honestly, tonight I think I'm gonna smash my head through a wall and hope that I hit the stud on the other end. And just keep smashing. I'm gonna headbang my life away. This movie, fuck this movie.
Yeah, sometimes you never know. Like, sometimes there's a terrible certainty about a movie you watch for a while that you know that this movie's just going to be absolutely, just utterly awful. With this movie, it kept teasing you.
Yeah.
It kept making you think, maybe something's going to be awesome that's going to happen next scene.
That's what I kept thinking. Maybe something is going to happen. Maybe it's going to pick up. It never did, no. And all the action scenes were just so stupid.
Yeah, just, alright. I say bury it. Like E.T.
Bury it.
If you have a copy of it, just do the whole...
Like the Atari E.T. games,
movie.
Bury it, shoot it up into the sun.
Shit on it.
Don't...
Sit on it.
I honestly...
Piss on it.
I would not... I mean, like I was saying when we were watching this is a movie that they probably play over and over to the prisoners at Guantanamo Bay. It's torture. Yeah. They play this on a loop 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and along with, like, Britney Spears music in the background.
It's been scientifically proven they do that.
Waterboarding. And then
this is tendament to water. This. I mean, you know, you want to talk about the worst torture? I mean, this is worse than Chinese fucking nail torture. This is worse than having your eyes like pricked out, like with little tiny onion fucking toothpicks.
That would be considered comfortable compared to this.
Compared to this film, yeah. I would. You know, honestly, after watching this film, I have the 1,000-yard stare of a rape victim.
The 1,000-yard stare of a rape victim. Who just
absolutely has no emotion displayed whatsoever anymore.
We're both going to need therapy after this.
I feel like I have a Chinese foot stuck in my ass already.
I feel so mind raped right now. Philip Ree has just fucked my life up.
And we have several of these to do. So
oh God,
we're gonna watch these movies.
I hope that you are all thankful that we are going through this pain for you, so you don't have to. You don't have to suffer these horrible things because we're doing it for you, for your enjoyment. Thank us, because we're doing this for you. Better be happy, because I'm not.
If anybody knows where Philip Ree lives, please forward his address to me.
Yeah, Philip Ree. Yeah.
Anybody whose idea to just call his own character Tommy Lee and his name is Philip Ree.
Every time I thought of this character's name, the only thing I could think of was Motley Crue and Pamela Anderson. And that boat that they spent that day on.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. I don't know. I would rather watch that 1,000 times in a row than this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
One more time in my life.
All right. Well, until next time, I'm Kevin McNichols, and this is... You gonna say your name? Or I gotta say it for you. This is Aaron McFarlane. This is the first episode, people. We're still working the kinks out. We haven't even thought of the title for the damn show yet. Not Best of the Best 3. We can call the show No Turning Back.
I think we'll call it let's call it the movie Smelter.
The movie Smelter?
Let's call it the shitty movie let's call it the what do you think? You have to come up with one now. I came up with one.
Don't watch Best of the Best 3.
The name of our show.
The name of the show is just Don't Watch Best of the Best 3.
Don't watch Best of the Best 3.
Every episode after this will not even have anything to do with Best of the Best 3, but the title is just going to be there as a cautionary tale. So that hopefully you will never, ever watch this god-awful movie. And if you are, I really hope that you are on so many drugs, like stacks and stacks and piles of cocaine and heroin and LSD, and you've been hit in the head about 14 or 15 times with heavy mining equipment, a couple of shovels, and a sledgehammer, and you are about to head off to be executed for crimes against humanity. That is the only time you should watch this movie.
That's not the best praise I can give this piece of shit. Oh man, 10 out of 10 on the worst movie I've ever made.
Oh god, yeah. -10 out of -10.
Yeah, I'll be diarrhea vomiting all night after watching this.
I'll join you. You take one side of the toilet, I'll take the other.
Oh man.
Alright, people. Well, end of the first episode. We'll see you next time. Don't watch this fucking movie. Please, God.